Good afternoon, and this is a virtual office hours that I am recording for sections 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.5. I will try to send this office hour video to all my Math 120s because we are finishing up 5.5, so I thought I would go ahead and go over these problems in a I don't know, more secluded setting to where maybe I could cover a lot of problems in a short period of time. This may bleed over into my Math 120 11, which meets at 5:40. So I thought I would go ahead and get started. So far, I got chapter 4. I'm going to go over 4.1, 17/7. I'll write this down. 4.1, 17/7. And this is probably the calculator type questions. I'm only interested in R. I'm only interested in the equation and the scatter plot and the line. First of all, you check your critical values and how many points you have. Critical data set, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So N is equal to 5 points. And those points are 2, 4, 6, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 6, 7, and 4, 8, 12, 12, 19. 4, 8, 12, 12, 19. And that's your X and Y's. And let's go ahead and check our critical value because we're going to use that. Critical value with 5, N is equal to 5 is 0.878. And that's what tells us if we've got a linear correlation, not just a correlation, but a linear correlation. So I'm going to type these in the calculator. I'm going to try to do everything with the calculator so that way you can watch as I do it. And I'm going to hit Stat, Edit, and I'm going to clear both of these. So hit Clear and Enter, and hit Clear and Enter. And I'm going to type in 2, 4, 6, 6, 7. And I'm going to go to the next side. Next, 4, 8, 12, 12, 19. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the scatter plot so I can put it on my paper over here. And I'm drawing this. I'm doing everything on the whiteboard over here so you can see it so I can put it on the video. Now, this video is for people to use that are having trouble. So you can pause the video and watch the video and rewind the video and things like that. So I'm keeping everything over here so I can show it. All right, so I'm going to hit second. Y is equal, yeah, because that turns on the the stat plot. Make sure it's on, then hit graph. You're not going to be able to see it. Let me go to Y is equal and clear that. That's from algebra class. And now go to graph. You're not going to be able to see it, so hit zoom. I think it's 9. There's your points. So I'm going to draw my points in some haphazard way. We've got a point here, and a point here, and a point here, and a point there. And remember, we got 2 points that are the same. Okay, so now we're going to go to and find the graph for this line, the equation for this line, and the R for this line. So I'm going to hit Stat, Calculate, and go down to Linear Regression, and hit, and it's already defaulted, mine's not, but yours will be, and L1 and L2, and Calculate. And Y is equal to 2.625x minus 2.125. And R is equal to 0.9429278. Okay, now as far as I'm concerned, oh, I got to do one more. Let's put that in the calculator. Let me go back to the calculator, sorry. Let's put that line in there. So y is equal to 2.625 x minus 2.125. And if you need to know what keys I hit, they're right down here. And hit graph. And it looks like that line is going through the first and the second one, barely touching the second one. Something like that. And this is what I want you, this is what I want for the test. I want you to make sure you have the scatter plot. I want you to make sure you have the equation, the R, correlation coefficient, and the line, the best fit line, which is that line right here. Those are the four things I'm wanting. 0.94 is greater than 0.88. So therefore, we have a strong linear or positive linear correlation. That's why you need the critical value. Okay? So that is what I want on. I'm not going to go through the homework and find all these Philadelphia lawyer questions. I'm not going to worry about those. Okay? I'm going to worry about what I need for the test and what you need to worry about for the test. And that is what you need to worry about for the test. The scatter plot, the equation for the best fit line, the R coefficient or the correlation coefficient, and the best fit line, which is this line right here on the graph. And make sure you check it. If it's less than and not negative, then it's a slight positive correlation or a strong negative correlation. And if it's negative and less than the critical value, it is no correlation. Okay, so there's what I need right there. And that's 4.117/7. Next one. And the next homework question is 4.119/8. Again, same type question. We'll check the critical value first. I mean the points first. There's the critical value. The points, again, we got 6. I'll write it down. This is 4.119/ what did we say it was? 19/8. Okay. And here's our points. X and Y. 26179. 26179. And our Y is 82695. 82695. Critical value is equal to, we got 5 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 points. So 5 is equal to 0.878. 0.878. And I told y'all in class, wouldn't hurt to probably put this on an index card so you wouldn't have to pull it up each time. But if I tell 30 students to do it, 2 of you are going to do it. So the 2 that are going to do it, there you go. So I take my handy dandy calculator and I hit stat, edit, and I type in 26179. 26179. And then I go up here and I type in 82695. 82695. And let's go to scatter plot, graph, and zoom 9. And there we go. I'm ignoring that line because that's the line from the last problem. So we got kind of the circle thing going here. And let's go to stat, calculate, and go down to linear regression. And L1 and L2 and hit calculate. So Y is equal to negative 0.1739x plus 6.86956. And R is equal to negative 0.2154. And again, that's everything I need except one thing. We got to go to graph, Y is equal, and we're going to type this in. Negative 1739x. Let me clear this for you. There we go. Negative 1739x, 0.1739x minus or plus 6.86956, 86956, and graph. And there you go. And let's check we've got the negative 0.22 is less than 0.878. Therefore, no correlation. Because 1, it's negative, and 2, it's less than the critical value. Again, that's everything that I want on the test. Let's go through and number them. Let's take a red marker. 1, I want you to be able to scatter plot. 2, I want you to be able to give me Y. 3, I want you to be able to give me R. 4, I want you to be able to draw the line on the graph. And 5, I want you to check the correlation coefficient against the critical value. All right. Next one. Next. (4.1)27/10. Let me write that down. 4.1/27/10. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, a little bit bigger problem. First of all, how many points we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 points. So N is equal to 8. Therefore, the critical value is equal to, let's look at the critical value. Critical value is 0.707. 0.707. And I'm not going to write all those points down. I'm just going to type them in because I want to use the calculator because that's what everybody has access to. So I'm going to hit edit. And I'm going to make this small so I can see the numbers. There we go. And I'll start over here and put my pen down. 27.75, 25, 26, 25.75, 27.25, 26.75, 26.25, and 26.75. And I think I got that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And 17.5, and 17, and 17.2, and 17, 17.4, and 17.3, and 17.1, and 17.4. First thing I want to see the scatter plot. Okay. So I go to graph, can't see all of it. So I hit zoom 9. There's my scatter plot. So I draw it. And we got something that looks, you got 3 dots in a row up on the top side. You got 4 dots in a row on the middle. I'm going to try to draw them. And then you got 1 dot down here by itself. Okay. So to let you see what I just did, I just drew a sketch of it. There it is. Now let's go find the critical value and all that stuff. I mean, not the critical value, the R, the correlation coefficient. Zoom, I'm sorry, stat, calculate, linear regression, enter, and calculate. Y is equal to 0.20468x plus 11.82631579. R is equal to 0.930154. And at this point, 0.93 is greater than 0.71. Therefore, we have a strong positive linear correlation. Now I'm going to type that in so you can see what it looks like. Y is equal to point. Let me clear this so you can watch the keys. So 0.204678, 204,678x plus 11.8263, 0.8263. Make sure you watch the directions and round accordingly. I'm just typing them in just to show you what it looks like. There it is. So it's attached to those 3 up there in the top right. So I'm going to draw my line and make sure I attach those 3. Well, that sucked. Okay. And here we go. And there is what you need to have down. You need to have the scatter plot. You need to have Y is equal, R is equal, and the correlation coefficient versus the critical value and the line. And that's what 4.127/10 says. Next. 4.140. 4.140/11. 4.140/11. Okay, I'm not even reading it because I'm going to find the points, how many points we have. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So N is equal to 12. Let me write down 4.140 slash, let's see, 40/11. Okay. And I'm going to do this on the Excel spreadsheet to save time. That's the only reason. Let's check our critical value. We know N is equal, what did I say? N is equal to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. N is equal to 12. So let's write that down. Critical value at N is equal to 12 is equal to 0.576. 0.576. All right, I'll go ahead and draw my graph. And let's take this to the Excel spreadsheet. The only reason I'm doing this on the Excel spreadsheet is so I can just get it. I don't want to have to type in the numbers because it's taking too long. So I'm going to, and plus I'm just showing you how to get what you need, and you know how to do that on your graphing calculator. You should now. So I'm going to graph these numbers right here. Go to Insert and go to, and there is your scatter plot. Now, if you do it on your calculator, it'll look the same. It ain't going to be much different unless you typed in something wrong. So I'm going to draw 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1 by itself, and then 2 kind of online. There we go. And my critical value, I got that written down. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do to get the equation for the line. Add trend line. And I'm going to add display and display. And I'm going to make it bigger so y'all can see it. So Y is equal to 0.7118x minus 1.1971. And R is equal to, I'll have to do that on the spreadsheet. R is equal to, and that's going to be equal to 0.9284 raised to the 0.5 power. 0.9635. 0.9635 and 0.96 or 96 is greater than 0.58. Therefore, we have a strong linear correlation, positive linear correlation. And we draw that line. It looks kind of like, I don't know, kind of like this. And this is what you should have for the test. Where's my, there we go. You should have the scatter plot, the line, the critical value versus the R correlation coefficient, and the interpretation, the equation for the line, and R correlation coefficient. Okay. And I'm going to delete that. Well, I might not. Okay, so that's that. 4.213. 4.213.5. 4.213/5. Let's see what this question has. It looks like to me this is the same type question. We got it. Okay, they give you the equation right here. So they give us y hat, and y hat means line of best fit, equals 883.6x plus 8,359. Now, I remember going over this in class several times. When you see this given, that y hat, that means you've already got the line. So you go directly to your calculator and you type that line in and you clear everything else out. So I'm going to clear the stat plot. I'm going to turn that off. Plot, and I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to go to y is equal. And I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to type in this equation. Y hat, let me clear this so you can watch what I do. Y hat is equal to 883.6x plus 8359. 8359. And you can hit graph if you want to. You may not be able to see it, so you might need to hit zoom 6 for standard. And that's not it. Or you might want to hit zoom fit, which I think is 0. There we go. All right, now I'm going to draw this because I'm going to explain how they're going to ask things on this one. So there's your line. Now, the purpose of this problem is not to find R and not to find, they give you the equation right here. They want you to be able to find X values and Y values on this line. And here's your data points. Your data points, these are your scatter plot, okay? And they got a best fit line, and now the best fit line is going to help you predict. That's what the best fit line does. So they're going to ask you a question, and the question is going to say, what about 20%? And there's 20%, and there's your X. Now remember, this is percent of people with a bachelor's degree, and Y is the income in dollars. Okay, and what do they give you? They give you a percent. So this is saying X is equal to 20. So A says X is equal to 20, and they want to know what? They want to know what Y is. At X is equal to 20, just like you did back in pre-algebra. Okay, so you go to your handy dandy table, and we did this in class. You go to second table, and you go to X is equal to 20. And there is your Y, 26,031. Now this question is going to ask you like 3 or 4 questions, and you find it that way. Okay? Now, it may ask you to change the table around. It may give you a decimal. I think they do give you a decimal right here. So you have to change your table to decimals. So you have to go to your calculator. I'm going to clear this so you can watch the video and pause it. I'm going to hit second window, which is table set. Now, table start, I think that means X is going to start at 12. And I think y'all can understand what table start means. That means where is your X going to start? And this means, do I have whole numbers? Right now it's set on whole numbers because that 1 is a whole number. So I'm going to change that to tenths. Since they're asking for tenths, I'm going to change that to 0.1. And hit enter. And now hit second table. And now it's putting X in terms of decimals. So now I go back and look at the question. And it says 28.9. 28.9. So I go back to table set. And I start at 28. And go back to table. And there is 28.9. 28.9 is 33,895. B, 28.9 is 33,895. And again, you did that back in pre-algebra, finding X and Y. Except now it's a decimal and you got bigger numbers. That's the only difference. And that's what that line is telling us. And let's see what the last one says. And that's where they ask you if it's lower or higher. Now, what about the Y-intercept? And let's talk about the slope. Now, I talked about this before in class, and I'm going to talk about it again. I'm going to take 2 colors, orange and maybe a green color. And this is X, and this is Y. Slope is equal to vertical over horizontal. This is a positive slope. So that means for every unit of X that we go, and we read from left to right, so for every unit of X, we go to the right, 1 single unit. What happens to Y? It goes up so many units. Vertical over horizontal. So our slope, M, is vertical is the number 883.6 divided by 1, because all whole numbers are over 1. So that means for every 1 unit we go to the right, it goes up 883.6. And all you have to do is match up. For every unit, we go to the right. Let me show you this. For every unit, we go to the right, 1 unit, we go up $883 or 883,000 or whatever it's measuring. $884 we go up for every 1 unit we go to the right. And that's what slope is. That's the definition of the slope, rate of change of this line. Now let's talk about the y-intercept. The y-intercept is right here. And as you learned in pre-algebra and algebra 1, the y-intercept is at 0, whatever that is. And this one is 83.59. So 0, 83.59. So that means at 0% bachelor's degree, you're making $8,359. And that's when I asked y'all in class, how many of you with no bachelor's degree are making more than $8,300 a year? And about everybody raises their hand. Even somebody part-time makes more than that. So this is out of scope. The y-intercept is usually out of scope. Unless, and out of scope is another word for it doesn't make sense. No bachelor's degree, you're going to only make $8,300 a year. And that's out of scope. Okay? So would I ask you any of this stuff on a test? Yes. I would ask you to put this in your calculator and draw a little version of it maybe, or pick it out and predict a couple of numbers for X or Y, and then tell me what the slope means. For every 1 unit to the right, I go up $884. And what does the y-intercept in this mean? It means that if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you're only going to make $8,300 a year. And that's you can make $10 an hour. That's $400 a week. That's $1,600 a month. Okay, $1,600 a month times 10. That's $16,000 a year. So even if you're using rough estimation and a part-time job, not a part-time job, but a minimum wage job, you're still making $16,000 a year. This thing says you're only going to make $8,000. Next question. Next question. Oh, shoot. I just got rid of the whole daggum questions. I hate when I do that. Hold on. Let me pull it up again. Email. I hope I remember where I was. I do. I got it written down. Okay. This is 4.213. So I did 4.213. Now I'm going down to 4.215. 4.215/6. 4.215/6. 4.215/6. Let's see what this one says. See if I went over it in class. Yep, we did, because this is the one where we have the domain right here. I'll write it on the whiteboard. Y hat, which is the regression curve or line, is equal to negative 0.0526x plus 8.4. Now, before I get started, we're going to draw it on the calculator. So I'm going to clear my calculator, delete, and I'm going to type it in. Negative, let me clear this so you can watch what I do. I'm not giving y'all an excuse. Negative 0.0526x plus 8.4. Plus 8.4. Now I'm going to draw a sketch of this graph. And I'm going to hit zoom fit, which is zoom 0. There it is. So I'm going to draw a picture of it. A sketch. So we can label our, it says, is there a relationship between the age difference between husbands and wives and percent of country that is illiterate? Researchers found least squares regression between age difference, Y, age difference is the Y, age difference, and that's Y, and literacy rate is X, lit rate. And I think that's percent. All right, so look what I just did here. I just drew, and they said the domain, and I want you to write this down, domain is 18 to 100. The domain is 18 to 100, meaning that we can only use percent to 100%. That's the only part we can use on this graph. So I'm going to take my handy dandy green marker and I'm going to draw a green line. I'm going to highlight that line right here. This is the only part of the line we can use according to our domain, because that is our domain from 18 to 100. Okay, so you can already say that the Y-intercept, where's the Y-intercept? Right here. The Y-intercept is 0, 8.4. So that means 0 literacy rate. Can you have a 0 literacy rate? Now, I'm going to let you argue about that. But an 8.4 age difference. So if you've got 10 years difference, then you, or 8.4 years difference, that means that you can't read or write. Okay, it doesn't make sense and it's out of scope. Out of scope because here's the only part that we're worried about, the green part. And that is this part right here, and somewhere, let me do the Y's. Somewhere right here. So the X's between 18 and 100, and the Y's between whatever this number is and whatever this number is. That's the universe. The rest of the numbers don't matter. Now let's talk about the slope. For every, we'll do literacy rate. For every, we read from left to right. For every 1 unit, we go to the right. What happens to our vertical? It goes down 0.0526, or 5.26% age difference goes down, or to years or whatever. Okay, so that's what that means. So there's 2 questions right there, the Y-intercept question and the slope question you can automatically answer. Now, what else does it ask? Well, it probably is going to ask, interpret the slope. For every unit increase means what? In the literacy rate, the age difference falls by 0.0526. 0.0526, and that is excellent. Does it make sense for the Y-intercept? No, because if you marry your wife or husband or whatever, and you have an 8.4 age difference, that means you're not going to be able to read or write. That doesn't make any sense. Does it make sense? No. So it's either Bravo, Charlie, Delta, or Echo. And it says outside the scope is what we're looking for. The X value of 0 is outside the scope. I would say it's probably that one. Predict the age difference between the husband and wife where X is equal to 36. Go to our table and look for, we're going to set the table at 1 again because it's asking for whole units. And we're going to change that to 30. And hit enter just to make sure it takes it. Second table. And we want 36. So at 36, at literacy rate of 36, I'm going to write this down. At X is equal to 36, your Y is going to be 6.5064. 6.5064. And that's what that Y hat line tells you. That's what it tells you. That tells you the stuff that you learned back in the pre-algebra, X and Y. So 6.504. Round to 1 decimal place, so that'd be 6.5. Okay. Would it make sense to use this model to predict the age difference between husbands and wives when the literacy rate is 12%? It's out of the scope. And you would put that on here. No, it would not, because the X value of 12 is out of the scope. Okay, and this says right here that the literacy rate at 97 is supposed to be 2 years. Well, let's check it and see what it says at 2 years. And at 97, so I'm just going to scroll down to 97. I'm not going to change anything. Only take a minute to get to 97. 97 is 3.2978. So 97 is 3.2978. Now this is where you have to read the question and you have to actually read it. And it says, select the correct choice below and fill the answer to complete your choice. Okay, it says right here, is this age difference, 2 years, above or below the average age that you come up with? Well, ours is 3.29, so it's below. See, is this age, 2 years, right here, is this age, refers back to 2 years. Above or below? It is below the average because we've got 3, it says round to 1 decimal place, so that'd be 3.3. Now that's a good test question. I like that test question because it's got a lot of thinking, critical thinking, and not a lot of math. Okay. So let's get rid of this one and go down to 4.221. This is 4.221/7. 4.221/7. Let me get everything out of the way. 4.221/7. 4.221/7. And this is something about slope or, okay, this one, okay. This one, they want the least square, they want the equation. So we got to go back, and I'm not going to punch all those in because it'd be quicker for me to do the Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to do the Excel spreadsheet just to save time. You use your calculator. I'll make the numbers bigger where you can see them. And here are your numbers. So while I'm working on the Excel spreadsheet, you hit the pause button. Ain't it neat how you can pause the, that's what the videos are for, so you can pause them. For the 2 or 3 people that use it, y'all already figured that out. All right, so here we go, and there's your numbers, and I'm gonna go ahead and plot that. And insert scatter plot. And I'm going to right click and add trend line and display and move that over and make that bigger. Well, it's not letting me. Huh. Well, it won't let me. Let's see if I make it a little bit bigger. Get rid of this and make it a little bit bigger this way. Huh. I've never seen it do that before. It won't make it bigger. Oh well. R is equal to, and that's going to be equal to 0.8537, 0.8537 raised to the 0.5 power. And that's our R. So our equation is Y equal to negative 0.0059x, 0059x, plus 39.307, plus 39.307, and R is equal to 0.923958874. And I'm going to draw a little picture of it. We got some points out here, and there's a line that goes like that. And this is what I've got. That's what I've got. Let's do our X and Y. What is our X and Y? Let's go back to the equation. Okay, weight in pounds. W-E-I-G-H-T in pounds. And this is miles per gallon. So naturally, the more weight that you have, the gas mileage is going to decrease. Okay. Now there is this. It says round to 5 decimal places. I don't have 5, but I'm just going to type them in. 0.0059x plus 39.307. Now, of course, you need to read the directions, and as you're doing it on your calculator, you need to adjust accordingly. I'm going to put, and you'll see that my numbers should be about close to theirs. Yep, 592 and 39. They bumped it up a little bit, so that's fine. Okay, interpret the slope. So I'm going to go back to my drawing. And somebody tell me for every 1 unit that I read from left to right of weight, what happens? My gas mileage goes down 0.0059. So for every 1 unit of gas mileage, 1 unit of weight, I go down almost 0.01 miles per gallon. And that's the way you read the slope. Now, what about the Y-intercept? 0 weight. Well, we all know that 0 weight is ridiculous. And that's going to be way up here. So at 0 weight, you get a very large MPG. Problem with that is, somebody give me an example of a car with everything in it that's 0 weight, and that doesn't happen. Okay, so that's the question, that the Y-intercept, there is your slope and there is your Y-intercept question, and they're probably going to ask for an X, plug in an X, and it says a weightless car will get 39.30. It is not appropriate to interpret, so you could say that. For every pound added, it will decrease by, I think it's that one. Yeah, that would be 0.0059. And a weightless car will get 39.307, 39.307 miles per gallon. And that's how you do that, okay? Well, I must have hit something wrong. Will decrease by, it is not appropriate to interpret the Y-intercept. Well, it might be this one, 0.0059. They both say the same thing pretty much. And they should ask for, okay, here we go, 3,700 pounds. A certain gas-powered car weighs 3,900 pounds. So you go to your handy-dandy calculator or your Excel spreadsheet, and 3,900 pounds. So I'm going to type in 3,900 right here. And I'm going to use my handy-dandy equation here. And that's going to equal, I'm going to put in an equal sign here. And I'm going to use negative 0.0059 times this number right there, and then minus or plus 39.307, 39.307, and that should be 16.3 miles per gallon. And what do they say? They say 19. Is the miles per gallon of this car above or below average for cars of that weight? So that would be, you know, a certain kind, that would be above, and that should be your answer. Okay, would it be reasonable to use the least squares regression to predict miles per gallon of a hybrid gas and electric car? Why or why not? No, because the absolute value of correlation coefficient. Yes, no, because the hybrid is a different type of car. Yep. Okay, so that's that question. That's 4.221 and 4.221/7. I'll show it to you again. There it is right there, 4.221/7. So now I'm going to go on to 4.224/8. 4.224/8. 4.224/8. I say it enough, I'll remember it. 4.224/8. And let's see what this one says. This one says, oh my gosh, I think I've done this one at least 7 times, but we'll do it again. First of all, what do? We pull up the table and we find out how many points we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 points. N is equal to 10. It's the first thing we write down. N is equal to 10. Therefore, the critical value at N is equal to 10 is going to be equal to, and that will be critical value right here at 10 is 0.632. 0.632. And we'll check that later. I'm going to put this in the Excel spreadsheet to save time. And I don't care what they ask for. I'm going to tell you what I want on the test. We're going to go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up with the Excel spreadsheet. And as soon as it comes up, here is my points. And I'm going to make them larger. And then we're going to go and we're going to highlight, and we're going to go to insert, and you would do this on your calculator, and I'll make that a little bit bigger for you, and we will put it right there, and we will hit add trend line, and we will go down and hit display, and pull that over. And there is our equation, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. And as I said in the previous problems, that is our equation. Y is equal to negative 2.9297x plus 89.344. And R, we got to do R because your calculator will find R, but I'm not doing the calculator because it takes too much time to punch them in. So that's R is equal to 0.9259 raised to the 0.5 power. And that R is equal to 0.9622. And then I draw a little picture of it, just like y'all have right there. And I've got pretty much straight line going negative, and it looks like that. So my picture of this problem looks like that. And that's what you're supposed to be able to do for the test. Then you get into the interpretation. And this is about the 10th problem I've done like this on this video. So make sure you watch this video so you can do it. But your slope, we got to write down the x. Let's write down the x. Let's go back to the equation. Hold on. What does it say the x is? X is number of absences. So number of absences is on the bottom. And your Y is final exam grade. Score, final exam score. And now I put that up there. So when you explain, and I'm supposed to do that orange, all the questions I've done like this, and like I said, I think I've done 10 so far. I did the exam, I did it in, or did the Y in orange. Which way do we read? We read from left to right. So for every unit, we read from left to right, every 1 unit, because whole numbers have a 1 under it. We go down 3 points, or 2.93 points. And that's what the vertical, that's what the slope means. Now let's go interpret our Y-intercept.
Let me see what happened.
0 absences. Yes, you can have 0 absences, and 0 absences would mean a very high score. Now, this one, unlike the other problems that I've shown you on this video, the Y-intercept was out of scope. This one is not out of scope because 0 absences is something with meaning. Okay, a lot of people have 0 absences, and usually people that have 0 absences, usually they are coming up, they can have a pretty high. So this is feasible. Somebody with 0 absences having a high score is feasible. And for every unit, we read left to right, X, we go down 2.93 points. And that right there, this right here, is what I will ask you on the test for chapter 4. Okay, let me go to the next one. That was 4.2, 24/8. Next question is 4.2. I've done all these questions the last hour. 4.2, 29/9. And then we're going to get into chapter 5. So I'm trying to get all the chapter 4 done before class started. So I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, this one says one of the biggest factors in determining the value of a home in square footage, the blah, 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 blah. All right, so here we go. X is, I'm going to draw a picture. Might as well draw it first. X is square footage of a house. Square footage of a house. and Y is the selling price in dollars. And we're going to plot these. And the only reason I'm using Excel is because I'm saving time going over these problems by not having to punch the numbers in. So that's why I'm using Excel. And here is the Excel spreadsheet. And this is what you would do. You would do this.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
You would do this if you were using your calculator. You would punch those in, and you would hit insert, and there is your line. There is your, not your line, but your, what do you call it? Scatter plot. There's your scatter plot. And right click and add trend line and display and display. Okay, and I did on the first 4 or 5 problems of this video, I did everything on the calculator. So that way you're getting the calculator and you're getting the Excel spreadsheet. And where is my lines? Where is my equation? There it is. And that's the 2 things that I need for you to have for the test. And I'm going to make that bigger. And R is equal to, and that's going to be equals 0.8087 raised to the 0.5 power. And that's R. So I write down all that information. I draw a sketch of it. And I write down Y is equal to 0.156x plus 15.608. And R is equal to 0.8993. And here is what you should know for the test. Now let's interpret the Y-intercept. The Y-intercept is at 0 square footage. The price of a house is 15.608. And what's wrong with that? 0 square footage, the house would not exist. So this Y-intercept tells us nothing. Okay, where the previous Y-intercept, you could have 0 days absent. That's realistic. 0 square footage is not realistic. And here is our Y. And here is our X. So what happens when we move? We all read left to right. So as we go 1 unit with the right, what does our slope do? It goes up. And that's going to be 0.156 units. Okay, and I forgot to write that number down, so hold on just a second. Let me write that down so you'll have it on the video. That is 4.229, 4.229 slash, and let me see which one that one is, 9.
Is this our class?
Okay. Hold on. We got to get through with chapter 4 and then we can talk. All right, now I've already done these. I've already done 4.25. I've already done 4.27. They were up here. Okay, I deleted them or they went down here. So I've already done chapter 4. I did the video for chapter 4. Now we're going to get into chapter 5. Does anybody have anything they want to say before we start?
Okay, so you start recording before 5:40. Is this our class for today, or?
This, did you read the message on the bulletin board when you came in?
Oh, I saw it.
Well, did you read it?
It was present going on heart problems and virtual office.
I'm doing virtual office hours. I'm doing nothing but problems today.
Okay.
So that's up to you if you want to stay or not. And I'm going to put it on YouTube for all the 120 videos because everybody's asking the same questions. And I thought this is one way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. 5.1, 19/7. 5.1, 19/7. 5.1, 19/7. This one says if a person rolls a 6-sided die and then draws a playing card and checks its color, describe the sample space, blah, blah, blah. So first of all, you got to draw your sample space for your, and this is what you should have on your index card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hopefully y'all already put this on your index card.
No, because I don't know.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 plus 2 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then a deck of cards over here. I can't draw all the deck of cards. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can put a black spade, because spades aren't red. And I can put a club, and I suck at drawing the clubs. And then a red diamond and a red heart. And what does it say? What does the question say? Read the question. I'll let you read the question again. It says, if a person rolls a 6-sided die and then draws a playing card and checks its color, describe the sample space of possible outcome using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and black and red for the card outcomes. Okay, so you could actually add these 4 things I've got right here. You could actually add these. Good gracious, that would be a whole lot more. You could actually make another box.
Message coming in on secured channel.
You could make a box down here and say black, black, red, red, and then black, black, red, red over here, and you could actually do that, but that would be a pain. So I don't understand what they're asking. Let me see what they're asking again. For the die outcomes, make sure your answer reflects the order stated. It would have to be bigger than that. Yeah, there's the one black, 2 black, 4 black, 5 black, 6 black. 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red, 5 red, and 6 red. Oh, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be 1 die, not 2 die. I suck. I didn't read the question, so I'll start over. Let me start over. I'm sorry. I suck. A die is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and black, black, red, black, black, red, red. And then you could do 1 black, and you could do this like this. You could do it if you wanted to. Black, black, red, red, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of them are going to be repetitive, and you don't have to count those. 1 black, 2 black, 3 black, 4 black, 5 black, and 6 black. Now, do you have to do black again? You don't have to do black again, so we're just going to go down to red. 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red, 5 red, and 6 red. And that should be your answer, because you don't have to do them twice.
Priority 1
Not a
message
very
coming in
good,
on secured channel.
not a very good test question. I wouldn't use that as a test question. Next question. 5.1 21 slash what? 5.1 21 8. 5.1 21 8. I keep saying it over and over because I have to remember it. 5.1, I done forgot it, 21 8. According to a certain country's Department of Education, 43.7%, that's a probability, 43.7%, that's equal to a probability because it's a percentage, and you change that to a decimal, 0.437, that's equal to probability of 3-year-olds in daycare. Okay, what is the probability of picking a randomly selected 3-year-old in daycare? Now, does anybody have any clue why people miss this question? Does anybody? I'm gonna ask y'all to talk now. Y'all can talk. Anybody?
Because they don't read it.
Yes, that's part of it. But have you ever come up
understand it.
on a question that's so easy that you don't know how to answer it because it's so easy? You ever come up on a question like that before? Okay, I guess not.
Well, probably.
I just gave you the probability right here. Look,
Just move the
here's what they
decimal.
give you, and I just changed it into a probability. Remember, I told you, when you do a percentage is chance. And what I tell you, if you walk into a probability course, you don't say percent. You change it to a what? A decimal. A decimal means probability. So the answer is 0.437. And I do put that on the test question just to see if people listen in class. 0.437 after I explain it. So you really don't have to do anything but move the decimal places 2 places to the left. And there are people that will sit there and stare at that on a test because they didn't listen in class. Now you don't have that excuse. Next question. 5.1 23 slash 9. 5.1 23 slash 9. Let's see what this one says. Let the sample space be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all the numbers in the universe. Suppose the outcomes are equally likely. Compute the probability of the event 2, 6, and 10. Well, how many is that?
3,
And how many do you have?
10.
So 3 out of 10 would be point what? 0.3, Hubert. That's right. So 0.3 is your answer. Oops. That's another test question, so you might want to write that one down. I tell y'all I like to make them simple on the test. I don't do the Philadelphia lawyer questions on the test. Some of y'all won't listen, and I mean that in all my 120s. Y'all freak out about the Philadelphia lawyer questions. 5.1 25, 5.1 25 slash 10. This one says, what does it say? Okay. Okay, this wants to be an even number less than 10. So less than 10 would be these numbers right here, but it's got to be even. So what's even?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Below 10. It's got to be less than 10.
2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, 8. How many is that?
4.
4.
Out of 10, which is 0.4. That's a test question. Next one, 5.1, 27/11. 5.1, 27/11. Go ahead and write that one down, because right now I got to write down the last one. 2, 4, 6, 8, which is equal to 4 numbers out of 10, which is equal to 0.4. Okay, this one says, a survey of 400 randomly selected high school students determined that 178 play organized sports. Okay, now, y'all got to think here. This is some real hard work here. What is the probability that students play organized sports?
Was it 178 over 400?
Good job. Now take your calculator, because you didn't need your calculator on those previous two. Take your calculator and somebody give me 4 digits, 4 decimal points. 178 over 400.
0.445.
0.445 even?
Yeah. That's what I
And that
got.
should be your answer. 0.445. Now it's going to say, well, what if there was 1,000 students? Then you'd move the decimal point 3 places to the right, and that'd be 445. Why am I not going to pick A? Somebody tell me why I'm not going to pick A.
Because it's not exactly. It's
Nothing is what? Exactly in probability and statistics. Nothing is perfect, and nothing is impossible. So you can't use words. You can't use words like exactly to tie yourself down. You can't use the word perfect. You can't use the word impossible. So we're going to put 445 right there.
It ends
And
up
that
being
is your answer.
0.445. Oh.
That is a test question,
So it ends up being 445.
because you move the decimal 3 places to the right because of the 1,000. Multiply that by 1,000. Multiply 0.445 in your calculator times 1,000.
Okay.
And leave that on there. This is for the video. There you go. And take that answer, 0.445, multiply it by 1,000, you get 445. Okay? And I know I've done at least, I don't know how many I've done. I've been going since 5:45. Oh, no, not 5:45, 4:45. All right, so that's that one. You're welcome. All right, next, 5.1, 31/13. 5.1, 31/13. 5.1, 31/13. In a certain game of chance, a roulette wheel consists of 60 numbered slots. Now, if you don't know what a roulette wheel is, I'm going to show you. All you got to do is look it up. But I know that's a lot of work for some of y'all. That's a roulette wheel. Okay, got it? And it always has 2 green numbers. It always has 0 and 00 on it, and red and black numbers, even and odd. And you bet on which one you think the marble is going to fall on. Okay, that's a roulette wheel. So with that being said, 60 slot numbers, 0, 00, and 1 through 58. Okay, So I'm gonna write that down. So you'll have it on the video. I'm gonna write down 0, 00, and 1 through 58 for a total of 60 slots. Okay. So let's see what it says. To play the game, a metal ball, a marble bearing is spun around the wheel and allowed to fall into one of the numbered slots. Determine the sample space. The sample space is 0 to 58. That's the sample space. Okay. So that ball can fall on 0, 00, or 1 through 58. So that's equal to 60 spaces. So that's A. B, determine the probability that the ball falls into the slot marked 3. So somebody tell me, what is the probability that the bearing or the marble falls in the number marked 3?
Is it 3/60?
Good job. And reduce that to 1/20. 0.05 probability. Good job. 0.05. They want I don't know what they want, but okay, that's not right. That's not right. No, 1/60. 1/60, not 3/60. 1/60. Somebody do 1/60 for me. What's 1/60? What's 1 divided by 60? Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Sure is nice to have a class that one person walks out of the room and the rest of y'all sit there like a bump on a log. Thanks, appreciate it. And then multiply that by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. So that'd be 17. So 17 is your answer. Miss Kidd, we got ahead of ourselves. The answer is not 3/60, it's 1/60.
How's it 1/60? Because
There's only one number 3. We got caught up with the number 3, and it should be 1/60. There's only one number 3 on the whole wheel. Okay. This is a test question, so make sure you make a note of it. All right. Determine the probability that the metal ball lands on an odd slot. So how many odd numbers are between 1 and 58? Well, half of them. So C, 58 divided by 2 is what? 29?
yes, sir.
So 29/60. Somebody give me 4 digits. 29/60. Miss Kidd, it'll be you because nobody else is talking to me today.
0.4833.
1.33.
0.4833. Thank you, Mr. Mance. 0.4833. Is that it?
Yeah, you said 52/60. Is that what you said? No, 29.
29/60. Here it is, right here. There it is, 29/60.
0.4833.
0.4833. Now, all these are good test questions. I hate to give you test questions with 5 parts. Interpret the probability So 483. So A, and that would be 483. Okay, let's round it up. I got 483. Oh, 100 times. I'm sorry, 48. I thought it said 1,000. 48. Okay, that's a good question. You need to write that question down because I like that question. I just don't like they asked you 4 different. Each one of these are good test questions. Okay, that's 5.1, 31, 13. Next. Let me get rid of that. 5.1, 36/14. 5.1, 36/14. And that is, oh, this is relative frequency. Oh, man, let me do this on the spreadsheet because I don't want to type those in. Just do the relative frequency. It's not a big deal. Do it just like you did back in the first unit. I don't like this question, but where'd it go? Hold on a second. Let me go find my spreadsheet. There it is. All right, what is relative frequency? It's when you take the total and divide into each. So back in unit 1, we did this. So first you got to find your what? The total. Add them all up and then do relative frequency. And somebody tell me what the relative frequency is.
Don't you take 147 and subtract it from
And divide it by
4902?
49. And let me put a F4 there. And that is your relative frequency. So write those numbers down because that's the answers.
Don't jump off the page.
And that's the relative frequency. If you want to change it into a percent, then you could change them into percent. If you want to change it to 2 decimal points, you can do that also. Equals this number, and I'm going to change all of them to decimal points. And format to number, where's number? There it is. Change it to 2 decimal points. There's that. And then if you wanted to change it to a percentage, you could change it to a percentage. Just hit the percent button or move the decimal 2 places to the right. You know. Okay, but that's what they want. That's the relative frequency. And remember, they could ask for a decimal. They could ask for a percent. And I'm not going to go through and type all those in, okay? I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. There we go. And round to the nearest thousandth. Well, let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh, where is my Excel spreadsheet? I don't even know where I put it. Here it is. Make it small. So what did it say round to? Round to what?
There's thousandth.
Thousandth?
I think so.
So that's going to be 0.02, 0.030. And okay. And 0.066. And okay. And 0.114. Okay. And 0.232. Okay. And 0.558. Okay. What else is it going to ask? Would you consider it unusual to find a college student who never wears a seatbelt? Never is what?
Impossible.
Is 3 cents less than 5 cents?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So it'd be yes, because 3 cents is less than 5 cents. That's a good test question. I like that question because it's short and sweet. I don't like 5 questions on one question. 5.139/15. Okay, this right here, write this down. This is a standardized test question, and it is also a test question on my test. So I'm going to give you a second to write it down. Just write the chart down. Just write the chart because I'm going to tell you how to do it. You don't need to write down the what's on the left. Just write the chart down. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1/6, 1/6, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 2/3, -1/3, and 1/3, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, and 1/8, 1/4, 1/4, and 3/8. I'm going to change one of them. On the 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, I want you to switch one of them to 5/1. The third one, switch it to 5/1. I got it on my handy dandy whiteboard, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to it. There we go.
1/4, 1/3, 1/3. Wait, 1. Sorry.
Okay. Now, I want somebody to tell me there's 2 of the probabilities, A, B, C, D, E, and F. There's 2 of them that cannot happen. Which one are they? From the get-go. Not even using any math. Which one?
B and D?
D is correct. Somebody tell me why D is not a probability model.
Because it has negative in it.
It has a negative, so ding, ding, ding. Okay, somebody tell me which one other than delta is not a probability model.
E
Echo, why?
is your fractions. You can't reduce 5/1.
In other words, you can't have a whole number.
Right.
Okay, now we just got to check the other 4 because those are the 2 that if you get those wrong, you don't need to tell anybody because they don't even involve any math. All right, somebody tell me what 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal.
1 ohm.
1 whole, is that good for probability? Yes, it equals 1. The probability has to equal 1. Good. What is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1?
1.
1.
So that one's good. I got to change these to a common denominator because I can't add fractions without a common denominator. 3 will go into 6 2 times. 3 will go into 6 2 times. Okay. So what's 1 6 plus 1 6 plus 2 6 plus 2 6? Hello.
1 whole.
Thank you. I know it's awful asking y'all to interact, but this one, change that to a whole number. 4 will go into 8 2 times. That would be 2 fourths. 4 will go into 8 2 times. That'll be 2 fourths. 2 plus 2 is 4. What's 4 plus 4? 8 over 8, which is 1. So A, B, C, and F are real probability models. That is a test question. It's also a standardized test question. So make sure you know that one. You can't have a negative and you can't have a whole number. And all of them has to equal, added together, has to equal 1. That's a good test question. Next. 5.1, 41/16. 5.1, 41/16. I'm not going to go through all of it. There's one that really just, boom.
B, not true.
Bravo. Bravo doesn't work. So Bravo is an X. 1 4th plus 1 4th. A is okay. So I'm going to take my, I'm doing this over here like this. So let me try to do this for y'all. There we go. All right. So A is good. B is not. What about C? Well, let's see. 5 to go in 10. That'd be 2 tenths and 2 tenths. That C is good. It's equal to 1. What about D? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. It's equal to 1. What about echo?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
What's 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 1/7? What's 1/7 plus 1/7?
No, it's not.
4/7. It is not. Echo is not. Because it's equal to 4/7. 4/7 is not equal to 1. And B, you can't have a negative. What about F for Fox? What's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1?
16/16.
And that is equal to 1. So that's another good test question. And let's go to the next one. Delete. I'm not going to delete that one. 5.1, 43/17. 5.1, 43/17. 5.1, 43/17. John, Clarence, Dominique, whatever his name is, Marco, and Roberto work for a publishing company. I'm just going to write these down. Let's see. I'm going to do this because I know what they're going to ask. John, Clarice, Dominique, oops, Dominique, Marco, and Roberto work for a publishing company. The company wants to send 2 employees. The company decides that the 2 individuals who will have their names randomly drawn. So we've got to do a sample space. Okay. So JC, JD, JM, and JR. CJ, CD, CM, and CR. And then start using the eyeballs instead of using the marks. DJ, DC, DM, and DR. MJ, MC, MD, and MR. MR, dang old ducks. RJ, RC. Well, y'all must have had a crappy day today. RD and RM. Now let's take away what? What do we subtract now? Well, is JC the same as CJ?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah.
We got to get rid of the repeats. So that's a repeat. What else? Where is another repeat? Well, here's a repeat. DM and MD is a repeat. And RM is the same as MR. I know MR right there. So that's a repeat. Any other repeats? Well, DC, is there a DC somewhere? Oh, we already got that one. Any others? I'm looking. Let's see. JD, is there a DJ? Yep. It's probably going to be the identity matrix. JM, MJ, JR, RJ. Yeah, it's the identity matrix. So here is your sample space. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10. So 10 is our denominator. Now what are they going to ask? And there's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got it right. The probability that Clarice and Marco, where is Clarice and Marco? Let's take a green marker. There's Clarice and Marco. Dang old 1 out of 10. 0.1. The probability that Dominique attends the conference. How many do you see Dominique in? Let's see. Let's do Dominique in orange.
2.
Well, let's see. There's 1.
3. Sorry.
There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. So that'd be 4 over 10, which is 0.4. I'm trying to get there. Hold on. 0.4. And let's not forget Roberto. The probability that Roberto stays home. Dang, Roberto, I believe he had a lawsuit there. They just won't even give him a chance. So what is the complement of staying home? going, right? So we're going to take a blue marker and we're going to see how many does Roberto go to. Okay, there's Roberto. There's Roberto. There's Roberto. And there's Roberto. So how many's left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Roberto staying home is 6/10. Have y'all had that bad of a day today? Yeah, Hubert, it's been kind of bad. Okay.
I had a good day today. I did. Five homework early.
Okay. Well, nobody's being very responsive.
Yeah, I
Except
had
for
good.
you and Miss Kidd, that's it.
I had
And
good.
I believe I got Miss Ritchie to say something a while ago. Okay, nothing. All right. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I said something.
Thank you. 5.1 51/19. 5.1 51.
Wait, did you answer D on the last question? What was it with Roberto?
6/10, 0.6. Be 6/10. All right. In a recent survey, it was found that median income of families in country A was 57,800. What is the probability that a randomly selected family has an income greater than 57? Well, that means 50%. I would say 0.5 because what is the median? It's supposed to be what? In the what?
Middle.
Middle. I would say 0.5. I've never seen this question before. That could be a good test question. And that's 5.1. Yay! We've done 4.1, 4.2, and 5.1. And my brain is about mush, but we're going to keep on going.
Great.
5.2. Good gracious, 46. We'll do that one last. 5.2, 7/4. 5.2, 7/4. 5.2, 7/4. Okay, we're back to our numbers again. I really don't like these questions, but they're if you look at them, the whole set, I'm going to go here, and you got to set them up. The whole set is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 34, 8 through 19. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Is that it? That's the whole set. Does everybody understand that? That means that in this questions universe, these are all the numbers. There's no number ones. There's no number twos. It's only 8 through 19. Now you have a subset of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a subset. And you have another subset, G, that is 13, 14, 15, 16. 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, these two subsets come out of what? The set. Now, they're going to ask you a question about it. Or, when you're talking about sets,
As addition.
or means together, means add together. Remember, or means additive law?
And means multiplicity.
There you go. And means multiplication. You're not supposed to talk, Miss Kid. These other students, they don't want people to talk. Equals
I'm doing good just to be here.
overlap. But you're not supposed to talk in class. All right. You're supposed to be weaned on a pickle. All right. So if you add these two together, tell me what you get. Since the word says or right here, since that says or, add F and G. Somebody add F and G. Well, if you add F and G, you're going to get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
127.
16. That's it.
Wait. Oh, so you don't add it like a math problem.
Not yet. Not yet. No. This is just what they're trying to get you to see is what does it mean when you say F or G? That means you put them together. So this would be F or G. Now, I don't ask that question on the test because I don't like these questions. I think they're confusing. So final check, and there's your answer. Now, find how many is in F. Somebody tell me how many is in F. 1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in F. So the probability of F is 6 out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 out of 12. That's the probability of F. The probability of G is what? 4 out of what?
12.
12. Now they're going to ask you for that some. I think you're going to add them together. But let's see what they do next.
0.3.
Well, to me,
Do you not?
that would be 10 out of 12. But I don't know if they're doing that yet or not. Let's see what they're doing. They might want a decimal.
Maybe it's 0.5 over 0.3.
Well, somebody take 10 and divide it by 12. What do you get?
0.83.
Okay, they don't want that. So take, what do they want? Hold on a second. This is 5.2.
It's confusing as shit.
No, it's not. It's not confusing. Just hold on a second. .2. Number what? That's 8 over 12. Write down 8 over 12 for P of 8, F or G. 8 over 12. That's 8 over 12. Oh, I know why. Right here. How many numbers? I know you can't see. How many numbers is F or G? And this is, let's see, where is it? Yeah, right here. F or G. How many numbers you got right there? Should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 8 over 12, which is equal to 0.667. That's that number. Now look here. If we're adding, we always got to subtract the overlap. So what is 6 over 12?
6.
No. What is 6 over 12?
0.5.
0.5. So that goes right here. 0.5. And what is 4 over 12? 0.33. And what's the overlap? How many overlap? Well, 13 and 14 overlap, don't they?
Yeah.
I'll show you. Hold on just a second. I'll show you. Take my handy dandy highlighter. Where is my overlap? How many numbers overlap?
2.
And what's 2 divided by 12?
Yeah.
What's 2 divided by 12?
0.167.
0.167. Now somebody do that on your calculator. What is that? 0.83 minus 0.167. Somebody give me that number. What is it?
I can't.
0.5 plus 0.33 minus 0.167.
0.663.
0.663. And it's probably a rounding error, but that's what you're supposed to do. Hold on. Yeah. I didn't carry it all the way, that's why. That's your answer. Okay. Not my favorite question, so the chances are it won't be on the test, but I'm going to move on. 5.2, number 9/5. 5.2, number 9/5. Same type question, but this time you don't have or, you have what?
And.
And.
Just multiplicity.
Means it's going to be multiplicative. So I'll write it down. 5.2.9 slash, what was it? 5. So S, the whole set, is equal to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. N is equal to 12. E, or is it F? Is it E? E is a subset. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And N is equal to 5. And G is 14, 15, 16, 17. N is equal to 4. So here's what I've got written down. There's the set and the subsets. Now the question asked, it says E and G. So where do you have something in common with E and G? Because you're looking for something in common. What's in common with E and G? Nothing. Nothing's in common.
Nothing.
So what do you say? They ain't none. So it's an empty set. So you need to hit bravo. Enter. Are E and G mutually exclusive, meaning they have no overlap? You would say yes. Which one says they have no overlap?
There are no articles of common.
Alpha.
Okay.
This is a good test question. Short and sweet. You're done. Next one. 5.3, 11/7. 5.3, 11/7. This is a test question. So make sure you write it down. Now this is some hard stuff right here, buddy. I'm telling you, it's pretty tough. I'm just going to give it to you. I've already done it and give it to you. What do you do? 1/2 times 1/2. 1/2 times 1/2 is what? 0.25. So if you do 10,000 flips, that means you got to move the decimal 4 places, right?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 2,500 times. 0.25 is your answer to the first question. 2,500 is the answer to the second question. This is a standardized test question, and it is a test question. So make sure you write that one down. (5.3) 13/8. 5.3 13/8. Write the question down. Everybody's leaving me. Oh well. Miss Wilson and Mr. Thompson, y'all not going to leave me, are you? Y'all probably already left me. There is 5.3 13/8. Here it is. There it is. If 0.17 is the probability of the population of a large country that's romantic, 0.83 is not romantic. So if 0.17 is romantic, that means 0.83 is not romantic. So what is the possibility that both people are going to be romantic? That would be 0.17 to the second power, which is 0.0289. The probability of at least one, now I want you to write this down, at least one is going to be 1 minus 0.83 squared. 1 minus 0.83 squared. That's 0.83 squared right there. So you can write it 1 minus 0.83 squared, or you can do 0.83 squared is equal to 6889 and take that away. Either one, you're going to get the same answer of 0.3111. 0.3111. All right, next question. 5.3 15/9. 5.3 15/9. Write this one down. Now, first thing you need to realize is the probability of a certain antibody being effective is 99.6%. But you need to change that to 0.996. Remember, decimals don't go in probability very well. You change it into a decimal. And if effective, if the antibody is present, that's 0.996. So therefore, not present would be 0.004. And you do this the same way that you did the last problem. What is the probability for 6 people? That would be 0.996 raised to the 6th power. The 6 is for the 6 people. So if that said 5 people, then you would do to the 5th power. If it said 100 people, you would do it to the 100th power. And that's 0.9762. And to find B, you subtract 1 minus 0.9762, and that's 0.0238. So 0.9762, 0.9762, and what did we get? 0.0238. And that should be the answers. Okay, next question. 5.317/10. 5.317/10. Same type problem. Now, the probability for a garter snake to live 2 years old is 0.97899. Therefore, the probability of it not making it to 2 years old is 0.02101. And what is the probability that 2 randomly selected? That's going to be to the 2nd power. And 7 would be to the 7th power. And the last part would be 1 minus B would be 0.13812. And since that's 14 cent, 14 is greater than 0.05, the nickel rule. So 0.14 is greater than 0.05. So make sure you make a note of that. Since it is greater, it is not unusual or it is normal. Okay? All right. Next question. 5.318/11. 5.318/11. Same type question. 0.81 diamonds are industrial grade. Therefore, non-industrial grade, which means jewelers, is 0.19. So that's equal to 0.81, and that's industrial. The opposite of industrial diamonds would be jewelers' diamonds, you know, that they use in jewelry. So there is your complement, 0.81, 0.19. The probability of industrial grade is 0.81. Therefore, the probability of not industrial grade, which means jewelry, is 0.19. And what is the probability of getting 2 industrial grade diamonds? 0.6561. What about 7? Drops down to 0.2288. And then, of course, you do the same as the last question. C, it says, what is the probability of at least? And that would be 1 minus B. which is 0.77, and 78 cent is a whole lot more than nickel, so therefore it is normal. Okay. And it is 7 o'clock, and I think I'm going to hold off there. And that's going to be where we stop at 5.318. I'm going to do another video tomorrow, and it will cover the rest of the homework questions, and I will post it with the other classes also. And I will do that sometime tomorrow. And I'll try to get everybody's questions answered. Thank you very much.